Let's bring in CTV's Zoraida Alma now for some specifics on just how cold it is out there and how people are helping others who are out on the streets in these frigid temperatures. Zoraida.
Well, certainly it's on days like this and nights like this that these types of organizations become so important. This is called Project Winter Survival. Now, we were just talking earlier about the charitable organizations that go out there at night and help out those people who are spending the night in that frigid cold outdoors. Well, these are all items that are donated to Project Winter Survival. Now, what Project Winter Survival does is they make survival kits out of all these donated items, and they distribute them out to agencies like the Salvation Army, who then go out and distribute them to the homeless, who have to, the people who don't have access to a shelter bed and have to spend the night outdoors. Now, they just distributed 3,000 kits over the weekend, and they're already gone. So they're all working really hard to get more kits together, and we're going to talk to them a little bit later on about how you can help, how we can help, because certainly, as I said, these items are all donated. They're also in need of donated funds as well. And, on days like this, it is so important that we certainly do what we can to help. Okay, so let's talk about that frigid weather, because it doesn't look like we're going to get any kind of respite from these wind chills or the frigid overnight temperatures, certainly anytime soon. Here's a look at our watches and warnings, and we still have quite a few. As far as the snow squalls go, those areas in yellow and orange are traditional snowbelt areas around Georgian Bay and Lake Huron. Barrie, Collingwood, Grey Bruce, still looking at snow squalls continuing into tonight. All those areas in pink, including the Ottawa area up into the north, where we're talking about wind chills in the -40s and -50s. That's Sudbury, North Bay, and to the north. Quick look at your temperatures across southern Ontario. They are in the minus double digits, and then there's wind chill on top of that. So minus double-digit teens in southwestern Ontario. Let's go up to eastern Ontario and around the Golden Horseshoe. Again, we continue to see very chilly temperatures at this hour. On top of that, we've got a wind chill that's still making it feel like -20s around the GTA. Right now at Pearson Airport, we're looking at a current temperature of -16 with the wind chill, still feeling like -20. There is some relief in sight, and I know we've been saying that all week, but we will get into that. The weekend not looking too bad as well, so there is some good news on the horizon. We'll talk about that a little later on, and we'll get more into what's going on here with Project Winter Survival later on in the show.
Thank you, Zoraida.
We are at Project Winter Survival. The volunteers are hard at work. Jody Steinhauer runs Project Winter Survival. We were talking about 3,000 kits you distributed to agencies over the weekend, but we need more.
We need more. There was over 11,000 requested. We were able to do 3,000, and today we're doing another 50. As the money and donations of products come in, we will continue packing for as long as they're needed.
So all these boxes here, that just makes 50 kits?
50 kits, yeah, 50.
Okay. So the need is great. We're going to talk a little bit more about what exactly goes into a kit, and people can donate these things, right?
People can donate the brand new items. They're on the website, and cash to get them, and we need help. It's cold out there.
It definitely is. More on Project Winter Survival when we come back from the break. I'll also give you the 7-day forecast. They need these kits out there because it is freezing. I'll tell you how long these frigid temperatures are going to last right here on CTV News after the break.
Back to Project Winter Survival, where their work is definitely needed this week.
Hey, you know what?
Sure.
What's a great item to give out with homeless people in the wintertime? Is a baked potato, especially if it's wrapped in foil. Zoraida, the baked potato holds on to the heat forever, and then of course it's edible at the end. And something else that Michelle and I noticed when you showed us the volunteers there, a lot of police officers there.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of volunteers here, and this relies on volunteers, on donations of items, and of course of money donations. So exactly what goes into a kit if you're actually looking to donate some items? I'm here back with Jody. What goes into these survival kits?
Well, there's 32 items in the kits this year. It starts with a backpack or a sport bag and the essential sleeping bag. And then there's all sorts of personal care items, and then some nutritious snacks, water, and beverages. Essential items to help the people on the street survive in these conditions.
So with the purpose of these kits, is he give them to them, when it's really cold out and they're able to sort of survive for like a few days till they get to a shelter, or what's the goal?
Hopefully they'll come inside, and the outreach workers use these kits to say, are you all right? Could we get you to come inside? Can we get you some health care? Can we get you housing? But if they choose to stay on the streets, then these will help them survive in the temperatures. But the goal is to get everybody off the streets and into housing.
Okay, and again, we're making how many, or we're hoping to make how many here?
Well, today we're making another 50. We've distributed 3,000 in the last week to over 172 frontline agencies like the Salvation Army, Out of the Cold Red Cross, and many others.
Okay, and it's those agencies that actually take these kits and distribute them out on the street. Major John Murray with the Salvation Army.
How are you?
How important are these kits?
They're hugely important to us because these kits, of course, they're a conversation starter for people who are living on the street. So when our Out of the Cold teams go out to try to connect with people to bring them into our shelters, it's a great way to connect with them. As Jody said, there are people who, even though extreme temperatures, they choose to live out on the streets. Homelessness is a difficult issue. There's mental health challenges, among other things. So the Salvation Army is very grateful that we're able to distribute hundreds of kits through our shelters here in Toronto, London, and Hamilton. And we're very excited that our Bargains Group partnership is now going national, starting in Vancouver later this week.
And no surprise that the 3,000 kits that they distributed over the weekend were gone like that in these temperatures.
Absolutely. You know, homelessness is a significant issue in our community here in Toronto, but it's a problem right across Canada. And certainly we're delighted because there are so many agencies who have stepped up to help to support the Bargains Group, the Salvation Army, and other charities right now as we look to help those who are living out on the streets, who are choosing to live out on the streets, and it's a significant time, no doubt.
Okay, awesome. And let's talk about those those chilly, frigid temperatures, put them together. It's Philly out there. Okay, here's a look at your satellite radar image right now. Not seeing much of a reprieve, as I said, from these frigid temperatures. The weather brought to you by the Presler Law Firm. Injury lawyers, you don't pay unless they win. Okay, back to those freezing cold temperatures in our satellite radar image. We're still seeing those persistent squalls off of Lake Huron and Georgian Bay, and the extreme cold weather alert continues for the City of Toronto. So once again, as we've been talking about the last couple of days, City of Toronto has extra shelter beds out, and for those who are still out on the street, it's projects like these, Winter Survival, that are hoping to help these people who are out there out in these frigid cold temperatures. Let's have a look at our satellite radar image again, and that area of low pressure as it continues to move off. It's not really going to do much. If anything, it's just going to change the direction of the winds, and so as far as where we're seeing those snow squalls, that might change up a bit in the next 24 hours or so, but we're not really going to get a break from the cold, bitterly cold temperatures and those freezing cold wind chills. The good news is right now this is about as cold or as bad, if you don't like this weather, about as bad as it's going to get. The overnight lows were brutal. 5 a.m. this morning it felt closer to -29 when we factor in the wind chill. We're still looking at wind chills around -20 right now in the GTA. By this afternoon, look for a high of -9, feeling like -15, -9 through the evening, and then an overnight low of -14, feeling like -27. Here's a look at your 7-day forecast. When are we going to see a break? Things are starting to look up as we get into the weekend. So -6 is around seasonal for this time of year. So we're getting closer to where we should be, although that wind chill is still going to be in the -teen range. -4 of a wind chill on Sunday, -1 in actual temperature reading. Certainly much more bearable. So that's good news there. We get up above the freezing mark finally to start the work week next week with a high of 1. And we're looking at the possibility of snow showers to wet snow showers as that temperature jumps to 4 by Tuesday. So things are looking up. We just have to hang on for just another few days, and things are hopefully going to get back up to where we should be for this time of year. I know it's January, but still, this is really cold for this time of year. More on Project Survival, Winter Survival. We'll talk about exactly what they need, what are the most important items that need to be donated, all that coming up a little later on. We're packing winter survival kits here for the Scott Mission, actually doing a pickup right now. I've got Beena here from Hain-Celestial. You guys have been donating for years. What do you guys donate?
We donate natural toothpaste and the Jason brand, natural deodorant. We've been donating chips every year, and this year we're giving a box of chips to every agency that comes and gets the backpacks.
Okay, and we've got our boys in blue. Ken, you were asking earlier, these are 13 division officers. In fact, they've been part of this program for years, helping to donate some of these kits and also volunteering here at the warehouse. More on the Winter Survival Project and a recap of your 7-day forecast when we come back.
Let's check back in with Zoraida one last time. And I'm glad, Zoraida, you were inside this hour rather than out, because I think it's like
oh my God,
15 right now.
And it's even cold in here in the warehouse. That's why I threw my coat on. I'm talking to Peter Amory here. He's a volunteer here. We're packing these bags. And you're not just a volunteer, you're homeless.
As well, yes.
So tell me, how important are these bags? I mean, we look at these items, they look like, basic items, but it makes a world of difference.
It does, ma'am. It's vital, especially the weather like this. So the gloves, the socks, all the things from these agencies, life and death sometimes, especially out in the cold, and this is really wonderful for me.
Where'd you spend the night last night?
At one of the shelters.
Yeah, and where are you going to be tonight?
Well, hopefully there'll be some space available too because of the cold weather alert. So one of the shelters again. A lot of the programs, you take advantage of them. They help you out. It's between life and death sometimes.
So these bags make all the difference.
All the difference in the world.
Well, it's amazing that you're here volunteering. I hope you get one of these bags. I'm sure you will before you go today.
Yes,
Peter, thank you for talking to me. Here's a last look at your 7-day forecast. Boy, those frigid temperatures, as I said, hang on to your hats, your toques, your gloves, your mitts, everything you need until the weekend. We're going to finally get a break from it on Sunday, above the freezing mark on Monday with some snow showers continuing into Tuesday. That's a last look at your 7-day forecast. We're here at Project Winter Survival. To find out how you can donate, log on to our website, toronto.ctv.ca, and click on the link. Bye.
Thank you, Zoraida.